In the massive, complex world of global trade, billions of products are crossing borders every single day. But what if I told you that the entire flow of all that stuff, from tiny microchips to gigantic shipping containers, it all comes down to one single, often overlooked code?
Just think about that for a second. One wrong number, just one little mistake in a string of digits, and your whole supply chain could just stop, dead in its tracks. That's the real power and, honestly, the danger of the code we're going to talk about.
Okay, so let's get into it. This code is called the Harmonized System, or HS code for short, and you can think of it as the universal language of international trade. Every single product gets a number, and that number tells customs exactly what it is and, crucially, how much tax to charge. But it's not just about taxes. This is key. Getting the code right is how you unlock those amazing preferential tariffs under free trade agreements and EPAs. Get it wrong? Well, that can cost you an absolute fortune. So if it's so important, why is it so ridiculously hard to get right? Well, because figuring out the correct HS code is like trying to navigate this incredibly complex maze, and there are traps waiting for you around every corner. Here's the real challenge. You need deep, specialized knowledge to do this. We're talking about expertise that you just can't get from a quick Google search. It takes a ton of time and effort to research and validate. And here's the kicker. Even after all that work, there's still uncertainty. Seriously, even the experts can disagree, which means you're never 100% guaranteed to be correct. And make no mistake, getting the code wrong isn't just a simple typo. It means your goods get stuck at the border, leading to super costly delays. It can trigger these huge fines from customs authorities. And at the end of the day, it just means lost opportunities and, frankly, a damaged reputation with your customers. For years, this has just been the painful reality of doing business, this difficult manual process that everybody just had to put up with. But that is finally starting to change. A really innovative new approach is emerging. So the big question becomes this. What if we could use technology, specifically AI, to just slice right through all that complexity? What if there was a tool that could give us the clarity and the confidence that this industry has been desperate for decades? So how do you even build an AI that can handle something this complex? Well, it's a three-step process. First, you have to teach the AI the logic, the fundamental rules, and the structure of the whole harmonized system. Next, it has to absorb expert know-how, so it was trained on the specialized knowledge of actual real-world trade compliance pros. And finally, it analyzed global precedents, cross-referencing thousands of rulings from authorities like the World Customs Organization and Japanese customs to see how the rules are applied in the real world. All that intensive training led to a really powerful new tool. It's called the HS Code Finder, and it was developed by Logistikey by combining that powerful AI with the deep, on-the-ground expertise of their trade compliance team. So what can this thing actually do? Well, instead of just spitting out one answer, it gives you several potential codes, each with a probability score. It even suggests what extra info you might need to get even more accurate. It backs everything up by citing the specific legal rules it used, like the General Rules of Interpretation, or GRI, and it gives you access to relevant case law. And get this, you can kick the whole process off just by uploading a photo from your phone, and it works in multiple languages. And this right here really gets to the heart of it. The HS Code Finder isn't some magic 8-ball that just gives you one answer. No, it's more like an expert partner that guides you down a clear path to find the correct and, most importantly, the most defensible classification for your product. So let's say you have a leather handbag. The tool might come back and say there's a 75% probability for one code, but a 20% chance for another. Right away, that cuts through the noise and lets you focus your attention exactly where it needs to be. And it doesn't just give you the numbers, it gives you the why. The AI analysis actually explains its reasoning, citing precedents from major players like the World Customs Organization. So now you have the documentation you need to back up your decision. It'll even flag cases where different authorities might disagree on a classification, which is incredibly useful. When you see it side by side, the difference is just wow. The old way meant days of tedious manual research, expensive consultants, and you still went to bed with that nagging uncertainty. The new way? You upload a photo and get ranked, legally backed options in seconds. It is a total game changer. So, what does this all mean for the future of global trade? It really signals a fundamental shift. We're moving towards a much smarter, way more efficient way of handling compliance. At the end of the day, the future of this field isn't about trying to memorize thousands of rules.
It's about empowering your teams with intelligent tools that can analyze information faster and more accurately than any person ever could on their own.
And that brings us to the final, really important question that you should be asking yourself. This technology, this is the new standard. So is your business ready to adopt it, or are you going to risk getting left behind? If you want to learn more about how this AI-powered solution can help streamline your operations and seriously reduce your risk, you can get in touch with Logistic directly. All their info is right here on the screen. Thanks for watching.